everyone, Julia here, and today I'm going to try to make some salt bars or salt soap using fresh raw goat's milk. I have a lot of goat's milk now since my goats have really started to bump up their production, so I'm trying to utilize that in all my soap. I've made lots of salt bars in the past, but this is the first time using goat's milk soap, and I cannot wait, or goat's milk, and I can't wait to use it. In making salt bars, it's pretty much the same as making regular soap. Um, I just put in my fragrance oil and my lye and goat milk mixture, and I've brought that to a trace. And this is actually copper tone, or I call it beach bliss, but it's a copper tone type fragrance. I love this fragrance in salt bars and in soap. And I'm using this, I forgot the name of it. It's like almost like a peach orange type mica. And as you can see, I've colored it pretty dark. But with salt, when I add the salt into it and it goes through its gel stage, it tends to lighten up or bleach out the color. So this color that you see is not going to be the color of the end soap. It goes kind of through a change, which you'll see later on. Right now I'm adding my sea salt, and this is fine sea salt, and I just add it in slowly as I'm stirring. And also remember, when you try this, make sure that you use a fragrance oil that's not going to accelerate trace, because once you get that salt in there, you kind of got to work fast. I don't normally layer my colors like I've seen a lot of other people do, which make beautiful salt bars, because it tends to thicken up really, really fast. This whole process of mixing the soap up, getting it into the mold, and cutting it takes for me, about an hour and a half. Because right now, I am, after I pour this into the mold, I'm going to set it in the oven, and I usually I've warmed the oven up on warm, and I'll turn the oven off as I put it in. And then I just keep an eye on it, because when I make these in a log, which I don't normally do very often, and this is kind of an experiment for me actually, when you make it in a log, you want to cut it right after it gels, because salt soap gets very hard very quick. I mean, there's like a fine line. You've got to watch this like a hawk. So as soon as I get this texture on the soap, I'm going to stick it in the oven, and then I'll show you once it comes out. I'm putting a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt on here. I had bought this coarse pink Himalayan sea salt, or Himalayan salt. It's not really sea salt. I had bought this coarse, but when it came in rocks, so I had to beat it to make it a lot smaller, and it's still got big chunks in it. So I need to buy me some more fine pink salt, because I want to use that in some of my soap. Here we go. The soap has actually only been in the oven for, I'd say, maybe 30 minutes. I should have timed it, but I really didn't. It wasn't in there very long. I took it out, and it was still going through the gel stage, and I kind of just poked at the top until I saw that it wasn't giving anymore. And I'm feeling of it right now, and it's very, very hot. I mean, very hot. And I'm just checking the sides to make sure that it's still not in a major gel phase in the middle, because when I cut it, I don't want it to kind of ooze out. I'm using my wired soap cutter. I love this thing. Now, I don't recommend you use this on salt bars. I probably shouldn't use it on salt bars, but I found that if the salt bar is warm enough, it just slices through it like butter. Like I said, there's a fine line of when you can do this, but it makes perfect cuts, and I love the way it looks. You can already see some of the bleaching. You can see it changing colors, and it'll change colors right before your eyes. It's kind of turning more orange than that peach. I wish it would have stayed that peach, or even a mixture of those two colors, but it won't. It'll be kind of like a light orange. But I figured that's pretty good for a copper tone fragrance.